Well, guys, it finally happened. 2020 is finally over. Everything's going to be perfect now, right? Probably not. But I hope that we can change our thinking for 2021. See, 2020 for most of us was probably a letdown. Now, I know I've been called a pessimist before, and I always like to remind people I'm not a pessimist, I'm just an optimist, or I'm sorry, a realist. I look at things in realistic view. But the truth is, we all can have negative feelings sometimes, and we could all use more optimism in our life, which I think is what led us to our new series called Be Happy. It is a look at the book of Philippians. The truth is that 2020 was a rough year for most of us, if not a disappointment. And there may even be some of you who are still dealing with feelings of doubt or disappointment or isolation. And here's a few things I know about 2020. It was a rough year. There was a lot of isolation, a lot of frustration, a lot of confusion. But here's another important thing I know about 2020. Our God was still in control, no matter what circumstances we faced. Despite what some dating commercials may allude to, God was still in control. See, 2020 could probably be summed up in one word: chaos. And it reminded me of Isaiah chapter 6, verse 1, when Israel was going through a similar time of chaos. The people were constantly sinning. They had a king. I'll just read it. Isaiah chapter 6, verse 1. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord seated on a high and lofty throne, and the hem of his robe filled the temple. They had lost a great leader, and they could probably sum up their world in one word: chaos. But in the chaos, Isaiah sees this vision. He looks up and he sees God still on his throne and still in control. Even though 2020 was very chaotic, I absolutely believe that God was still in control. And I want to go ahead and sum up 2021, even though we are just at the beginning of it, with one word: joy. Now, we have to take an active part in making that our view. But here's what I see. If we learn to focus on Jesus this year, I truly believe it will be the year of joy, no matter what the circumstances. I was driving on the highway the other day and I saw some more of that pessimism. It was a sign that said, "New year, same virus." And the truth is, even though that's annoying and it's like way to start the year off by reminding us, the truth is we are still going to be fighting the same virus, fighting some of the same struggles, possibly even some of the same restrictions, some of the same personal circumstances that we're going through. But what can be new is what we look to in our pain, doubt, and struggle. See, over the next few weeks, I want us to look at the book of Philippians, often called the book of joy, which honestly is ironic because it was written by a man named Paul in a Roman prison during a time when he had been forgotten by most of the people that he loved and served, betrayed by many, even church leaders, because of their jealousy of him. And it was obvious that he was nearing the time of his death. And yet, out of all of that pain comes a letter of joy. The Philippian church had sent Paul a monetary gift to assist him in his struggles, and Paul was writing them basically a thank you letter, but in it, what we see is a man who has gone through so much isolation and pain and hurt for, by the way, doing the right thing, but still filled with joy. So, how did Paul get this joy? Well, the word used in Philippians is not the way we use joy. It is not experience based on circumstances. It is happiness based on spiritual realities. It's happiness that comes from the awareness of God's grace and God's favor. Basically, it's the happiness that comes not from our current situation or our current circumstance, but from current salvation and a future hope. It's the same word used in the Christmas story that we just celebrated and read through. When the shepherds are out in the fields and there is an angel and a bunch of angels in the sky, and it says that they were sore afraid in the King James Version. They were terrified. And the angel said, "Don't be afraid, because we bring you good news of great joy, because a Savior is born today." So, where did Paul get that joy. And how can we get that joy in 2021? Paul talks about inner joy or happiness 16 times in 4 chapters. Paul filled his mind with Christ. He said it's been said that a person can't think of 2 things at the same time. And maybe you have had a friend who's, you're going through some kind of a pain, you have a pain in your foot or something, and they say, I can help you with that pain, and they hit you in the arm. Because then you're thinking about the pain in your arm and not the pain in your foot. It's that kind of mentality. Thinking of 2 things at the same time is very hard, if not impossible. So Paul's secret was that he filled up his mind with Christ. He realized that it's hard to be thinking about all the bad things going on around you if at the same time you're thinking about the goodness of Christ and the promises of goodness that he brings to us. And this is so evident that this is Paul's thinking because Paul talks about Jesus, mentions Jesus or Jesus Christ 17 times in chapter 1. Way more times than he even talks about the word joy. And this is my hope, that over the next few weeks we look at Philippians and we can fill our minds with Christ and our hearts with true joy as we look ahead to the new year. I truly believe that 2021 can be the year of joy, right? No matter what our circumstances are, no matter what we're going through, no matter what we face, we can have the mentality of Paul that even in this, I have true joy because my mind is filled up with Christ. My mind is filled up with his word, with his promises. My heart is filled up with joy because of who he is and what he has done and what he will do. Our joy is not based, our happiness is not based on what's going on around us. It's based on him and what he's already accomplished for us. In the meantime, we are here for you guys. We love you. Keep watching us each week. We will meet next week, next Sunday from 4 to 5:30, and we'll meet every first and third Sunday from 4 to 5:30 and discuss this more. But on the off weeks, we're going to be showing these videos. So please, I'll keep them short, but please make an effort to join in every week so we can look at Philippians and we can learn to know what it means to have true joy, even in rough circumstances. And we can make 2021 a year of joy. We love you guys. We're praying for you. We're here if you need us. We're just a call, a text, an email, a GroupMe chat away. And we got some exciting things coming up. We're going to plan some activities. I'll shoot all that stuff out on GroupMe so you know what's going on. But just know that we're here for you if you need us. In the meantime, start looking ahead of Philippians and start thinking about how we can be people of joy. See you guys later. Bye.